Hey guys, how's it going? Hope things are great with you. So we are at the 11th house for Saturn now. And what are the top five amazing things that you'd have when a well-positioned Saturn is in the 11th? Okay, so um, Saturn, as you know, is the graha of acceptance, it's the graha of uh, clarity of life, and it's the graha of wisdom. Okay, now the 11th is a little bit confusing, so I would like to talk a little bit on the 11th. Okay, just to make sure that you truly understand what is the 11th house. Uh, you know, it can be a lengthy topic. I'll try to cut it short as possible. Now, let's track back a little bit. So you have the 8th, is a house of active karma, where you'll go through your trials and tribulations, right? And then you'll have the ninth, where you'll learn all the lessons of life, right? From the pain and the suffering that you've gone through on the 8th, you will learn from it, obviously. And these learnings and revelations that you receive from God, which is why the ninth is also the house of God, is then used in the 10th, the house of action. Okay, use that lessons in the 10th. Now, whether that action will be fulfilling or not is seen in the 11th. Okay, now the 11th is also the last karma house. Now, karma is now we all know karma as desires. Okay, but then it is also part of the purusharthas, right? The governing principles of life, the four quadrants of life. Okay, it is a framework for humans to pursue. By doing so, we will find ultimately contentment, peace, love, and joy. Right? These four guiding principles, which is why the charts are divided into four parts. Right? And karma is 3, 7, and 11. Right? Now, the 11th as the last karma house shows your most cherished desires, the desires in its highest form. Okay, so desires, guys, is divided in two parts. All right, just to not to go into very spiritual or esoteric talk here, but there's two types. Okay, to put it simple, the first type is the more superficial one. Okay, based on our sensory receptors, so indriyas as they call it. Okay, our vision, our hearing, our taste, smell, and touch. Okay, say if you desire to drink a cup of coffee, then you're fulfilling your desire of taste. Watching a movie, you're fulfilling the desire of your vision. Listening to music, fulfilling the desire of your auditory sensor. And when you touch a baby's hand, you're fulfilling the desire of a touch. And of course, smell maybe a basket of roses. These are the desires in a very mortal sense. Okay. Now, the other desire, as you know, this chart is originally designed for transmigration of the soul and how we can attain moksha, right? Sanctity of life, right? So if you look at from that perspective, the second part of this, or the second category of desire is the catalyst to achieve moksha or sanctity or liberation of the soul. Because what they say, and of course you can look it up in the Brihad Danyaraka Upanishad. Okay, and this Upanishad clearly says that if you desire something, if you desire something, an action will be subsequent. Okay, and from that action, it will lead into your life purpose. So the right desire, the right action, and from the right action is attaining the ultimate truth of life, the ultimate wisdom, or the ultimate liberation. Okay, so the desire is karma, the right desire, which means it's bound within dharma. Okay, dharma is the right conduct, virtue, the righteousness, and all that. So when you have the right desire, you have the right conduct, which is dharma, and of course to tie them up together is artha, the wealth that you have. And with these three things integrated, you can attain sanctity of life or moksha. That is somewhat the meaning of desire in the context of spirituality, based on the governing principles of the Purusharthas. Okay, you can look it up in Google. You can search for Purusharthas. Okay, so that's a little bit about desires. Now, what happens when Saturn is a well-positioned Saturn goes into the 11th now? Okay, so now that you know the 11th shows about a person's most cherished desires. Okay, be it superficial or spiritual, doesn't matter. Now, number one, these people would be very astute. You know, you hit the iron when it's still hot. You know what to do when. Very. It's a very important quality to have nowadays, especially. To know when to do what. Astute thinking. Next is very balanced. Nobody can condition them into a certain habit. Okay, whenever we do things, if you really think about it, we are based on a conditional habit, right? Say if you drink coffee in the morning, why are you doing it in the first place? If you really come to think about it, it has become a habit. Why? Because you've seen somebody's expression drinking coffee, and they become very happy and elated and all that. Probably someone told you, probably watching the movies, whatever, right? But it's never from yourself. It is from an external factor, right? So we are all creatures of habit, right? And that will always lead into an unnatural way of living. It will also lead into suffering, correct? Because it is not coming out, it's not stemmed out from you. It is from an external source. It's not intrinsic, right? So to live a life with being genuine, okay, doing an action based on what you think is right, is the perfect way of living, which means a total balance, right? So no external factors can harm you or change you or condition you. Okay, so these people are, secondly, a very balanced people. The first was astute thinking. Second is balance. Third is they can read you like a book. Okay, you don't have to talk a lot. They don't have to mix along with you for a long time. They look at you, they will know, okay, this person is coming from this, and this is what this person is trying to do. Or they can sort of x-ray you. Okay, that quality they have is so which means you cannot take them for a ride, you can't fool them or anything like that. They know, right? They know inside everything about, some kind of a power they possess. Okay, it's a very interesting to know. Okay, Saturn in the 11th. Saturn in the 11th has a mythology associated with it. You can also Google that up too, which is why Saturn in the 11th, Saturn and Jupiter in the 11th makes a great team. Where was I? Yeah, so the third is that quality that they have about reading a person like a book. Fourth is they are good planners. They're very proactive. They do preemptive decisions. They plan ahead, way ahead of time to get things done, and that one is self-explanatory. You would understand, if a person who plans everything, it'll be always success. There's no hiccups, there's no sudden problems coming out, no impediments and things like that. They because they plan things very well. Okay, and the last, certainly not the least, is controlled. Okay, they cannot be how can I put this, you cannot put them into a place where you can control them. Control may not be the right word. The thing I'm trying to say is that they make decisions based on their own free will, their own thoughts. Okay, they do not have they are not biased with anything or anyone. Okay, if a decision is to be made, it is from them only. That's it, full stop. They are not biased. They do not get into any kind of external acceptance. Everything that they do, it's based on them. So they have a good sense of self-control. All right. Okay, so that's the top 5 amazing things that you'd have when Saturn is well positioned in the 11th. We'll talk about the 12th very soon. Take care, guys. Namaste.